Hello guys, this is Terry from Genki Gaming TV, and this is our first episode review of Yokai Watch 2019, the OG. I want to thank both the Yokai Advisor and Ash for helping me find the link. Well, we have a group chat and they basically just left the link there, which really helped me. So if you guys are watching, I'm appreciative of that. And as always, you guys are all amazing. I appreciate the support. Now let's get into the episode. The episode basically starts off really kind of different than what I was expecting. Kinta/Nate was basically walking home, talking about how his life just feels ordinary or normal and like nothing really goes on. Even when he greets his mother here in about a scene and a half, just the way he greets her is somewhat concerning. And we also have Katie photobombing within the first minute of the episode. She's kind of peeking over the fence as he walks in the house. She's only there for, I believe, like 10 seconds. It's like barely even a scene transition. As he basically enters the house, greets his mother, you can tell the reaction on her face that she knows something is going on a little bit. He walks upstairs and gets ready to go to his room, just like you would any ordinary day. I know, like myself, I get home, I take my shoes off, I get a bite to eat, and then I'll go and hang out in my room. But upon Nate walking upstairs and heading to his room, we can see him walking in motion but not moving. We'll get on to what's preventing him from moving here momentarily. But as soon as he enters his room, he picks up a manga and kind of starts to read it. And then he notices his closet door kind of screeches open or kind of transitions open. And he's like, what's there? What could have done this? So we see him fight with its closet to get it closed. And then we hear a whimpering noise coming from Whisper that Nate caused him a lot of pain. And Nate thinks he hears something and starts to really react. He's like, did I hear a voice? Nah, I couldn't have. There's no one else here. And everything kind of transitions. He goes and gets a bath. He sees the water kind of spike up as if someone's cannonballed. He's kind of a little bit freaked out about that. He hears a nya. He's like, a cat? But yeah, it was really Jibanyan, even though he couldn't see him. He continues to talk about how his life is ordinary or normal. He uses futsu, which kind of implies normal, ordinary. It can also kind of infer a little bit of boredom, especially with the tone he was using. It infers that he feels a little bit bored. And he's laying in bed and the wind is kind of blowing and he just kind of blows it off like this is a normal thing that happens here. So he wakes up the next morning and starts to walk to school, and Katie or Fumi catches up with him and he really reacts well. I've got to give the animators a ton of kudos, because our boy's eyes light up, his smile is almost like spontaneous and smooth. Now, if only a certain another Yokai Watch protagonist had that much care. Moving on. So he talks to Fumi/Katie for a little bit. And he thinks he sees something, and he starts to squint his eyes, and it's Whisper. Whisper's trying to get his attention somehow, and he's half blowing this off as if it's just him hallucinating. We see him physically, like, take his hands and just go over his eyes, just to kind of like whenever you rub the sleep or the, like, little microparticles out of your eyes, like you're cleaning your eyes to a certain degree, and then whisper farts. Totally unintentional, because obviously we can't begin a Yokai Watch series without a really awkward fart moment. So he's kind of panicking. He's like, oh, it stinks, it smells. Fumi is not impressed. Fumi gets annoyed and walks away. She is even visibly annoyed and mad to a certain degree while they're at school, because Nate peers over to look at her. Normally you would expect your friend to smile or maybe to wave. No, she's full on So yeah, as the scene kind of transitions on, he sees Jibanyan doing a little dance, a little bit of a boogie on the teacher's desk, trying to will himself into Nate's physical existence, trying to break whatever inspiriting that is on him. So he kind of freaks out, pointing at the teacher's desk, saying, hey, there's something there. But when he gets up, because of all the distress and everything that is on Jibanyan's body, Jibanyan farts. And he reacts that it was disgusting. And then the teacher's like, are you trying to blame me for your own fart? Or something to that degree. So then we get a transition on to lunchtime, where Koji and Bear, Koji and Bear, I keep wanting to think about Yokai Watch ShadowSide Friends. So moving on, he sees translucent Yokai Friends again, like yokai trying to will themselves into Nate's vision, trying to cancel out the inspiriting that is upon him. But Koma-san, Komajirou, whisper, nothing works. Nate actually visibly spits his milk out in Whisper's direction, kind of freaking everyone out. Katie has an absolute look, or Fumi has an absolute look of concern on her face while looking at him, and so do the rest of his friends. And Bear, actually, or Kuma, or whatever I want to call Bear, because I half want to call him by his Japanese name because Kuma is great, kind of infers that something out of the ordinary is going on with him, and that today is definitely not, he's not acting himself. We get a scene of him leaving school. Everything seems a tiny bit off. He's even admitting that his day hasn't been exactly what he expected. He starts to walk across the crosswalk, and all of a sudden a speeding truck is coming in his direction. Jibanyan shows up to save the day. We get the Jibanyan meme of Jibanyan getting hit by the truck. Meme completed. But upon meme completion here of Fist of Fury preventing the truck from hitting him, and good guy Jibanyan basically being good guy Jibanyan, we get a scene of Jibanyan crashing down on top of Nate's head, causing Wazat, which was inspiriting him, to basically fall off of his head. Everyone's heads are hurt. We get a really touching moment of Nate and Jibanyan getting ready to hug, but Jibanyan is hit by the truck instead and sent flying off into the blue yonder. We basically get reassociated here with Jibanyan, Koma-san, Komajirou, aka not as cool as the ShadowSide versions, but we'll keep that on the download. I mean, Koma-san and Komajirou are adorable, but I miss Frog Komajirou. he was weird and strange and beloved. But we're moving on. We now have a new ongoing joke of Nate not knowing who Whisper is. Which is great. He's like, I don't know this white one. I know everyone else here. And Whisper visibly and socially saying, how can you not know me? I was your first yokai friend. It's what was being inferred. And after this, and after everyone just kind of got grouped back up, they kind of represented him with the Yokai Watch. A little bit of the situation of what's going on was explained, and the whole what's that situation was kind of put under wraps. And Nate got hit by Fist of Fury. Because Nate implied something that he shouldn't have. So now, we get the same episode again for part 2 of episode 1. But we get it from Jibanyan and Whisper in Hydabat's perspective. Hydabat basically tries to tell Jibanyan and Whisper that something is up, and that Nate may be inspirited. If you guys love Nate, you should probably maybe do something about it. Whisper's too busy looking at Playboy, and Jibanyan's too busy kind of omnomming on a choco bar. But when they finally realize that Nate is not paying them any attention, that is when they finally start to go aggro and start to try to remove Wizat from his head. Jibanyan tries to stop him while walking in the hallway so Whisper can pull Wizat off of his head. And the closet scene, Whisper tries to be in between the closet door and the wall, trying to prevent Nate from shutting it. But incidentally, that caused Whisper to spiral out of control, smacking off of everything in his room and falling with a thud. The bath scene more or less involved Whisper trying to push Jibanyan in the water, which ensued, causing that big splash. And for all of the other scenes, the walking to school scene and the being at school scene, Hydabat basically explained to Whisper and to Jibanyan that they can kind of push their presence upon Nate in the situation to attempt to make him see them. It's like when a translucent object becomes more visible, where the transparency is altered so that you can kind of push your presence on someone. I'm trying to relay what basically they were trying to perceive here. They thought that if they strained themselves to the point of like pushing their spiritual bodies to a certain degree of visibility, that they would be visible to him. And then farts intentionally happened because, yeah, it's a thing. And at the end of the episode, we find out that Katie, or Fumi-chan, is right next door now. I could have sworn that she lived somewhere else, but then again, my whole layout of the town is different because I'm being focused on ShadowSide for the past year and a half. But yeah, that was the first episode of the 2019 OG continuation. I hope everyone has had fun watching it. Like always, it will be in the description down below. And I appreciate your support. And I have a small like goal for me to continue to do the OG. I would like to reach 10 likes, if that's at all possible. It's just something that kind of like, hey, you guys want to see more of this? Because I'm gonna most likely be doing this either way, but this is a good indicator, like via likes, that this is what everyone wants to see. It just, it helps me to know that me focusing on doing these episode reviews for the OG is the right decision. And I do have a ShadowSide video planned as part of my ShadowSide finishing up routine. I mean, there's a better way I could have phrased that. I am going to do my top 10 favorite yokai from ShadowSide, and I'm going to do a what was missing from ShadowSide video, because I feel like both of those needs to be handled. So, like always, guys, have a wonderful, amazing rest of your morning, afternoon, and or evening, and I hope you have a great week as well. Bye bye for now. I appreciate you all.